No lightsaber this time?
Gumbo podcast. No lightsaber. Welcome to the Reptile Gumbo podcast. This is episode 67. 67. We are live, but we don't have anybody watching yet. Hopefully they'll watch
pop
this.
In.
We were late because everybody's life got insanely busy this week, so we did not get our normal Wednesday show in. But everybody's here now.
We got graduates.
Lots of graduations
Lots
going
of
on.
graduates.
Oh, look, there's Chris
Lots
Eaton.
of people
Chris
moving.
Eaton is the first one.
Aw.
Bitches.
That's the first time he's ever been the first to anything.
Oh. He's talking to y'all. He's not talking to me. He loves me.
So, Robert, you had a graduate this week.
I did. Shawn
Graduation,
Robert
Lily.
Robert died. Up there he is.
Yeah, it's I just got home from the graduation party and I'm fucking exhausted.
Oh no, everybody's internet.
Mine seems to be working fine.
Was
Done
the
yours,
party
Shawn?
today?
Mine's good.
Yeah, they're still at the party. I left to come do this.
Oh wow.
I don't think he's heartbroken.
No, not at all.
I was about to say
Yes.
you both had kids graduate high school this week. My kid had a dance recital. I may or may not have cried the whole way home, but I mean, because I realized she's not going to dance with that studio anymore because we're moving.
Well, she
And I
looks
just sat
so
around
cute.
wishing, man, I wish I could do this podcast.
Yeah. All your girls both did as well.
Yeah.
All
Two of
of
them.
our pretty children.
Yeah.
I know.
Uh,
Exciting.
So exciting. This is also going to be like one of my last podcasts I do in this house.
I think this is going to be the last.
No, we'll do one the week we move because I'll be here the week we move.
Okay.
And then
it's
that'll
my
be the
last
one. Then we'll be
podcast
in the
in this
studio.
house
Oh
too.
my gosh.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there's
You
like
know what?
nothing in here.
That is true. Shawn has spent the last
Yeah,
week.
not much.
Oh, look at all the big stuff.
The big stuff, that's tomorrow. That's what the movers are doing.
Awesome, man.
Hey, Corey.
Are they coming super early, or do you at least get to sleep in a little bit, or?
No, there's no sleep. They're going to be here probably about 7. Me and Haley and I just got back driving back from Brian from
We're
dropping
having
Lori
internet
and
issues
dogs.
tonight. All this.
All your fancy bells and whistles.
My fancy bells and whistles aren't messing up. It's the internet.
Oh.
My fancy
Yeah,
bells and
mine-
whistles are working.
Mine
The
Mine's
internet,
good.
Fine.
everybody's situations does not happen. It could be our internet. Our internet sucks.
I have no
which
doubt it
I'm not
probably
heartbroken
is.
that we're leaving our internet. Should have restarted the modem before we did this because
Oh well.
it has its moments.
Hey, Amanda and Dallas are here.
Anyways. Hey, it's Amanda Dallas. So let's go ahead and do our sponsors since all of our sponsors are here in one place.
Sounds like a plan.
You don't have actually
Not
pulled
ready.
up. Nope, you're not ready at all.
I can
Christ.
take like 25
Oh,
bucks on the wallet.
I apologize. Everybody loves
I am not a slacker, Amanda, or Dallas, whichever one of y'all said that.
James is a slacker.
I am not. I've tried to be on top of everything.
All right.
Everyone's life around me is not working to my schedule.
No, there was the fun in that. All right, you ready?
Are you ready?
I am.
Go.
Are you looking for a high quality PVC rack? Look no further than Lone Star Reptile Racks. They offer a variety of sizes for all types of snakes, geckos, rats, and more. You can even order something custom. Shipping is available, or you can pick up at a HERPS reptile show near you. Visit lsreptileracks.com to reach out to Lone Star Reptile Racks and place your order today.
Yay.
Woo! And then our other sponsor that will have a blurb written this week is going to be Wiregrass Exotics. And their store opening has been pushed back, but
They're slackers.
it's not because of
Oh.
them. It's because everyone all over the world in all pet stores are dealing with delays.
Yes. It is very hard to get anything.
That is an under fucking statement when you say dealing with delays. But we'll get into that later.
Yes. And then our third sponsor is in the little square down there
A little square.
is Shawn Gray from HERPS Reptile Shows, which I don't have the schedule pulled up. And I'm not going to ask Shawn the schedule because he's not Lori. and he
I can
doesn't
tell
know
you the
either.
schedule.
Can you tell?
I can
They're
tell
off
you up
this
in-
weekend.
I can tell you up until
Saturday.
vacation.
And then they have Lafayette the first
Yep.
weekend of June. They have Conroe the second weekend of June.
Yep.
They are off for a weekend, which is Father's Day weekend, and the weekend that we moved to Texas. And then they're in Amarillo, Texas, the weekend after that.
And then his vacation.
And then I'm at camp. There are no HERP shows. You're going to be helping Robert with stuff. And then we have Slidell when we come back at the end of July.
Yep.
And that's all I got.
What she said.
We'll be in the Florida Keys for 10 days after that. Cannot wait.
Nice.
Well, aren't y'all fancy?
You.
That was what the girls wanted to do for their graduation present. So.
We have
Nice.
And we have Slidell in
I got a,
Oklahoma City those 2
Fishing trip
weekends.
for my graduation.
What?
Oh yeah, I got a
That's
fishing
it.
trip for my graduation, and that's when I found out that I get seasick.
There's Slidell, and then there's Oklahoma right after that.
Yeah,
Yep.
in July.
I don't think Robert likes driving so far 2 weekends in a row.
I stopped remembering.
We're not that
it
far yet,
Amarillo.
Robert. I need everybody out there that's listening. How bad is our sound off right now? It just seems like it's really lagging. It drives me nuts. Who is Reptile Mama?
Gina.
Oh, that's Gina. Oh, this is Gina right there. Was this Gina?
Oh,
It's
my
probably
Yep.
Gina. I told you it was Gina. I don't know why you don't listen to me. Anyways,
We're all feeling it today.
oh man. So yeah, I've got all this fancy equipment here, but it's not all hooked up yet because I gotta. But I do want to thank again. I'll thank several people. Shawn. I want to thank Shawn because he's one of the people. I want to thank Dallas and Amanda because they're one of the peoples. I'm not using the camera right now because we had some issues, but I want to thank Chris Eaton because he's one of the peoples. John Grant, Jason Miloradovich. That's just a fun name to say.
You owe Jason a thank you.
I do. Jason, I found out that I got a Black Russian Samboa and that it was mine and not Robert's. So
Yes.
Our child
Are you
caved
no longer-
and told him early.
Yeah, I was
I'm
wondering
super
about that.
excited about
Supposed
that.
to be for Father's Day. She saw how excited and jealous he was when he was holding it, thinking it was Robert's.
Our audio is off. Like
Everything sounds good. You're like worried about it.
I mean,
and-
I don't do well with bad audio.
I know.
It's my pet peeve.
Robert,
Someone says
yours is good, right?
There's a
It
Yeah.
does
delay.
for all of them. It's a delay for us. It may not
It sounds
be.
great.
Ours is
Yeah.
good. It's you, James.
Yes, Corey, I did
he
find out.
found out. She saw how jealous he was when Robert was talking about it being his, and she was like, "We have to tell him. We have to tell him it's his." I'm like, "That's your call, not mine."
So now I can be like Corey and have fancy snakes.
I don't know about all that, but
Corey just picked up a snake. She picked up a white lip python
Mm-hmm.
Nice, Corey.
at the hockey arena, which is a weird venue.
that was a roller derby arena.
It doesn't matter. It's the same difference.
No,
It's the same. You're inside. It's a pain in the ass. Is what
it
it is.
doesn't have ice.
It's
Well,
not that
no,
bad,
but it
James.
can if they were fancy enough. It has that slidey floor. You can play
Oh.
street hockey on it,
Oh,
like Mighty Ducks, like when I was a kid.
okay.
So I've done that show twice,
Wait, we're
And
blurry.
both times-
No, Gino, we're not blurry. That's just.
and
that's just
both
your eyes.
times it has rained all day, both days.
Yep.
Both times I've done that show.
Yep. Didn't stop people though.
We're missing.
No.
God, it was crazy.
Yeah.
No,
no, it
it
was
did
busy.
not.
Yeah. There was times I was trying to take racks out, and it was like I needed an air horn on my cart to like
Yeah.
move people out of the fucking way
Right?
so I
It
could
was,
get out.
it was so busy.
Yep.
Oh,
It was a pretty good show.
I almost hit the air horn button.
Glad you didn't.
I'm not going to hit the air horn button. I
Because
think
if that
I might
volume
start
is
cussing.
out of control, I will throat punch you
I
right
do have to-
here.
I do have
and
to
we
figure
are
out
live.
I do have to figure out the volume. So, another thing. Okay, another thing happened at that show, Robert. When we tried to leave, what happened?
oh,
Oh, with the trailer.
Yeah. Someone stole the pin out of my hitch that holds the hitch in the receiver, and I didn't notice, and I hooked up the trailer, and I pulled up, and I backed up this super like incline they have in the back, and it felt like I hit something. Well, what I hit was my receiver sliding forward and hitting my truck or my hitch. And then when I pulled forward, luckily I stopped exactly where I did, because when I got out and looked, it was about the last quarter inch of the hitch was still in the receiver, and the entire weight of that 16-foot box trailer was holding it in.
it was close.
So,
it was real
yeah.
close.
Real close to being a disaster. So we borrowed some extra wheel chocks because I only had one and chalked it up. Now, mind you, it's on like a, I don't know, 22 and a half degree incline, and jacked it up and put a new pin in and put it back on. And luckily, and then James and I drove it home in the rain, and it took us forever because the truck was trying to hydroplane one way and the trailer was trying to hydroplane the other the whole way home. Took us like 5 hours to get to this shop. Should have been 3.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. So what?
I'm trying not to get upset.
What's wrong with
I
him?
just texted our kid and said, hey, if you're using anything that's using the internet, get off of it now.
Yeah, it's lagging like crazy over here.
I think y'all's end is fine. And I think
Yeah,
what
we're
people
fine.
on Facebook is seeing is fine. But what's happening is about every 30 seconds, our screen on our end is freezing. And then y'all are like, blah, 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 blah. And we're only getting like every third word.
How are they again?
Shut up. And yeah.
Throat punch coming.
So this is the first time
Look,
trying
that
okay,
your
I'm
screen
gonna
has
take
been
my
clear.
headphones off so you can press the button for Brendan.
Well, I switched it. It was on 1080 to record on 1080, but that was when we had the GoPro hooked up. So I went ahead and switched it to 720.
Did you
because-
just switch that when I texted Joe?
shortly after? Yeah.
Oh, okay, because I
before.
didn't see you switch anything.
But I switched it to 720.
Yeah,
Because
this
we're
is
on
the
the
first time your camera's been
camera.
clear the whole time. It's
I was
not
Yeah.
gonna
blurry.
say it's also a much better connection with everybody. So maybe
Don't say that shit.
it's your
Stop.
fault.
It's gonna fuck up now that you said that.
Hey
You just
James,
gotta-
where's my let it go button?
I don't have
Push
it
the let it go
I
button.
don't have it pulled up.
Yeah.
You know what I do have pulled up though?
That's what she said.
Okay, I was afraid it was gonna be loud.
Were you afraid of
Too loud. It's still too loud.
Oh,
Still-
thank God I
someone
didn't have
just
it.
crashed their car when they hear this? It's gonna be great.
Wow.
Kick you in the fucking nuts when you get here.
It was for Brendan. Brendan wanted it.
No, don't throw him out.
I
under
kicked
that
Brendan in
bus.
the nuts too. I don't even know who he is.
Brendan,
No,
I'm not
no
resetting the
warning.
router. I'm already started this podcast.
Holy
Uh,
shit, that was loud.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah,
James.
I gotta really figure out the sound on this thing.
James.
So
James.
when we get the new studio.
James.
What?
Move
Play
on.
with it later. Let's go. I got shit to do.
You know what? What?
Yeah.
Yep. Come on.
Okay. So one reason we wanted to have Shawn on was because while we were at the show in, I don't remember where we were. Austin? We were in Austin.
Mm-hmm.
While we were at the show in Austin, and we talked about it on the previous show with Robert with PayPal, more information has come forth, and I wanted to have Shawn on because he's having to deal with this whole PayPal and people having issues with credit cards, and it's getting crazy when you start reading stuff on some of these Facebook groups because people don't know what's actually happening, but they're saying they know what's happening. It's just misinformation everywhere. So
Yeah.
I wanted to have Shawn on so we could talk about this whole issue with credit cards. So go, Shawn.
Yeah, and honestly, I still don't have a solid answer or 100% true answer as to why my PayPal was shut down, other than intangible products. They really won't give you any information, and the reason they're telling me that they won't give us any information is because then we can bypass their security measures, whatever the hell that means. I've heard everything from not being a legitimate business to only doing friends and family to, whatever. I have a legitimate business. My personal account's fine. I can do whatever the hell I want with my personal account. But my business account was shut down that first day and locked, and they held my money they're holding my money for 180 days or whatever. And luckily I made a transfer out, but you don't really get anywhere with PayPal. Everybody can say that they've talked to somebody that they know, whose friends, cousins, brothers, aunts knows somebody that works at PayPal, and you're all going to get different answers because all they're doing is targeting certain people in a certain industry. It's not because of live animal sales. We've already gotten clarification on that. It's more or less that there's such a high amount of fraud that goes on in our industry that we're being targeted. So live animal sales is not the reason. I don't sell live animals. It's more to do with our industry alone. And what they're doing is the reason that people are getting different answers is because they're trying to find anything in their terms of service that has any that you've maybe just didn't understand how it works or whatever. Anything they can find for each individual one of those accounts, and they're terminating the accounts based on that. So it's not all going to be the same. They're going to try to find the smallest little hiccup in your account and it could be friends and family one time, honestly, and they can just say, "Oh, you sent friends and family, you're done."
Yeah.
So there's no recourse as far
Chris
as
is talking about Brian Carter.
Brian's done
Carter,
a lot of research.
Yeah, he and I were both told the same thing. About it being the trading card industry and the pet industry, and that they lose so much money on investigations that they're not making as much on. Because I got a hold of someone allegedly in risk management with them. It's the same thing as because he's the one who told me to call someone in risk management, see if they told us the same thing, and they did, and pretty much said, yeah, we don't give a fuck. And I talked to my banker. My banker said, yeah, the PayPal in the banking industry, like when you go to these big conferences, like PayPal doesn't attend because they're just kind of considered like the pirates of the banking world. And, they're not respected in the banking world. They're kind of thought of as, as thieves. And I don't know if you know this, Shawn, but I learned this week that if they determine that we broke their terms of service, they can keep the money that they're holding.
Yeah, my attorney said the same thing. Yeah, my attorney said the same thing. They could keep it. But the thing is that honestly, the only thing we really used PayPal for, we used it between vendor payments and things like that for tables. But the main thing that we used it for was our online ticket sales. And so after going through the whole RoyPay thing and trying to figure out all of that integration and stuff, we're actually to the point where honestly we may not even do online ticket sales anymore. It just seems to be too much of a hassle. We'll do ticket sales at the door. It didn't, obviously the past 2 shows that's been affected has not slowed those shows down. We'll still take credit cards through Square at the door. I mean, I know that thing popped up about Square, but I'm thinking that was more of something happened with that person's identity or how I can't remember all of the details with the Square thing that popped up, but I've contacted Square personally, and I don't sell live animals, and I'm being assured that I'm not going to have any issues with what I do. Because again, every single Square transaction that goes through my swiper or whatever, the fees come out of it automatically. It's not something that we pass on to the customers. We eat that. So we're going to keep that, going as long as we can. If it comes to that, then we'll figure out a way. But right now, it looks like that the issue with Square and that one person's account on Instagram looks like an isolated event. I haven't heard or seen of anyone else having their Square accounts shut down. So
yeah, and that was a brand new account, and it didn't pass their muster for some reason. Yeah,
exactly. So again, we were all kind of on edge when that happened.
The problem that everyone kept saying was, oh no, PayPal's not allowing live animal sales, which was again not the truth. It was they were not their live animal sales fell into their fraudulent accounts or whatever thing that they had issues with. It wasn't the animals, it was just they didn't want to deal with anything that had all the scammers in it. And
it doesn't have to do just with reptiles either. It's affecting the livestock industry. It's affecting mainly any of the pet trade, any animals that you're seeing. Poultry people are having issues. People that do taxidermy, for God's sakes, are having issues with it. Anything that has to do with the animal sector was targeted, and you can't deny that was what the case was. I don't care. All these people posting, well, I've had PayPal for 10 years and I don't have any issues. Well, neither have I. I've never had issues for over a decade until that moment. There was no notification ahead of time. It was just done. So,
like I kept telling everybody in the groups when they were, it was such a typical reptile group response. One person said, "Oh, it's because you were breaking the rules because you were doing friends and family," and everybody just decided that was what it was, and we're sticking with that, and that's the hill we're going to die on. Yeah. And I kept every time somebody says, "Well, I've had it for 9 years with no problems," I said, "Neither did I until I did."
Yeah.
Had no problems with them.
Yeah, I kept seeing your argument. People kept arguing with Robert, and like, he doesn't sell animals, and he had it happen to him. He's not a secondhand person telling you it's happening.
No. Right.
It happened to him. And the biggest problem I had was two of them. One, they're keeping your money for 6 months, which is fucking ridiculous.
Yeah.
And two, they took money out of Robert's bank account, his personal bank account that had already cleared.
Yeah. Months ago. Some of it months ago. So it's when you go read their terms of service, it's 100% in there. I agreed to let them do that. Yeah.
It's in there. And the thing is that people were giving me shit about it and saying, well, are you like I sent over my entire fee schedule to the attorney first, and it was almost $17,000 in fees last year. So they're not getting shortchanged by me. They're eating me alive in fees. Not anymore, and I don't care if they open my account up and let me go back to business. I will never do business with them again.
Nope.
So just and I'm a small fish.
Everyone's talking about using Venmo, and then people came out going, "Well, Venmo's owned by PayPal," but Venmo doesn't basically care about fraud. That was the issue. Venmo, from what I understand, was fine with it because there's no coverage or nothing to cover the person from fraud.
But they're the more I've researched this, there is a way to charge back, especially if people have their credit cards on Venmo, if it's not coming bank to bank. So if it's bank to bank, it's a little different. But if you're like, I have my debit card linked to my Venmo. If it was a credit card or whatever, and I decided that I paid somebody and I wanted to dispute that, I could do it with my credit card company. How it gets resolved from that point, I don't understand. I haven't looked into it that much. But I use, and my Zelle is linked to my bank account. Zelle it was part of my app when I got my bank account for my business account. So I can use Zelle for that if I need to for, that. But I mean, cash is king in this industry, honestly, and that's just part of it. So hang on. Sorry, Lori's trying to call me. But we'll continue to take credit cards, and things like that. And if we work on any integration, it'll be later on. But right now, for the time being, we haven't had time to honestly do anything with it. But we're just going to do cash and card at the door, just like normal.
Yeah, I don't think it'll hurt attendance.
You had talked about trying to do the old school like ATM. I remember when I go to shows when I was younger, there was always an ATM at the show.
Well, we've considered. I mean, we've been thinking about trying to get an ATM for a while. It's just trying to find something portable enough. And I found a couple, actually, I've spoken with a couple of companies already. They have some like desktop model, and then I'm responsible for filling them and have support with them, and they all connect to Wi-Fi or Ethernet. So I'm looking into it, and hopefully we'll be able to come to a solution on that, because most of the venues have their own ATMs. I mean, a few of them do. But I want to have one there, for those that don't, because the ones that already have their ATM there, that's theirs. That's their contract. We're not going to set up ours. If there's a venue that needs an ATM, we'll have one on, and we're not going to, whatever the processing fee is, what the bank charges me for running it, that's what I'm going to charge the customer. I'm not trying to make any money off of it. That wasn't the reason. I just wanted to be, the money to be accessible a little easier. Because if you tell somebody that their ATM's at the gas station down the street, who knows if they're going to come back and buy that animal,
Yeah, once they're gone is the problem.
Well, and we've also had shows where the ATM at the venue has run out of money on Saturday, and it didn't work on Sunday.
Yeah,
because the sales were so crazy on Saturday. I know that working up front with Lori, I've had that issue a couple of times where people are like, the ATM's out of cash, and I'm like, I'm sorry, I can't. Fix that.
They usually we've warned those people. We're like, make sure it's loaded. Like, load it Saturday and Sunday as much as you can put in it, and they just run through it.
I've had
they don't believe us.
At Beaumont, maybe. Yeah, at the first Beaumont, I had somebody that was going to buy a rack, and they said, let me go get money out of the machine, and I'll be right back. And her husband stood there for like 10 minutes, and he's like, man, let me go check and see where she's at. And they never came back. Yeah. And she called me on Monday and was like, I got over to the ATM, and it didn't have money in it. And it was like, everything that's been happening to me just like came down on me at that once, and I had a nervous breakdown, and we had to leave, and she ended up buying the rack the next day, and they drove from Beaumont to get it. that ATM not having money was like her trigger.
Yeah, she just had enough. But that's just a straw. She couldn't handle it anymore. That's one of those options that we're weighing. But so the reptile community is pretty resilient. We usually can figure things out. So we'll find a workaround. We always do.
Absolutely. We will.
Sorry, I was looking at stuff. Anyways,
he didn't listen.
That was one of the big things this week. That
James didn't hear.
I listened to all
he
of
listened.
it.
He listened. He just doesn't.
I'm trying not to have a breakdown when the audio gets messed up.
Yeah. I've had multiple people text me and tell me it's fine on
sure
YouTube
it's just
and everywhere else.
Side.
It's just for you, babe.
Yes, and I'm staying calm.
You are. I'm proud of you.
Anyways, Robert's house has become the boa home. He now has 2 of my boas there. He's got my sand boa,
Yep.
and while at Austin, I also purchased a new female boa from our friends over at No Drama Llama.
Mm-hmm.
It was a hypo jungle pastel het call albino female.
I
I
love
need
how
to go
he
check
says
on
he
it in a little bit and
purchased.
see if it went ahead and shed.
It was one
I need
bank
to go
account, but he was not the one that sent
That's
the
right.
money.
It was in shed mode.
She looked
I
like
bet
she
it's
was going to
absolutely
yesterday.
Gorgeous. Out of shed
Oh,
mode too.
Oh,
Hopefully she's a little nicer.
She's gonna be great for your project.
Yeah.
God, I hope so.
Probably not. But the mean
And you
ones
got
eat,
you
so that's
also
great.
got well, Robert got something from No Drama Llama too. A cotter
I did?
pin, a pin for your
Oh,
head.
yeah.
Because
The pin
Lily
for
just
my head.
happened.
Lily had it.
Lily happened to have one
That's
in the
right.
van.
Lily saved the day.
And that's the new HERPS
Save
rate van
the
now. They got
day.
a white one. We got to write
Yeah.
something on the side of that.
That's it.
Yeah.
Our husband drives that to work during the week, so that ought to be fun.
Okay,
Nice.
we'll make stickers for it.
Oh, look, James Bergoli's here. So James was not home today to help his wife
Blow up the mixer.
with her bread mishap.
Flower explosion.
Yeah.
Oh, all I know is there better
Missed
be
that.
bread at Conroe. I don't care
There
what's
will
happening.
be. There's
Oh, yeah.
maple bacon bread at Conroe.
Yeah. And she's making
eat-
me a special
eat that.
bread too, a couple special ones.
Well, that sounds weird.
Sketchy.
It does sound, that sounds
Well, I
like
gave
don't
her-
take
I
a drug
gave her
test the
some-
next day
I
after you
gave
eat
her-
it.
I gave her some ideas for some new types, and she's running with it. She's trying out some really cool things. So hopefully they'll be perfected. I get to
Nice.
taste test them. So yeah, I saw that she sent us the pictures of that, and I was like, "Holy crap! Did you read the instructions?" And yeah, I got probably a big old middle finger from
Yeah.
that.
All I
But-
could imagine in my head was like her husband's going to die when he sees it. That's all I could
It's James. I don't care.
yeah,
Get you,
James was
James. Other James, not the James.
like- James said, "My wife fucked the house up." Ethan was having fun.
Yeah.
Ethan was having a lot of fun though.
Oh, I bet.
So,
So, talking about Conroe,
ugh,
since we got you here, that's going to be a huge show.
I'm scared. I'm
You don't seem
scared.
excited.
It's a love-hate relationship with Conroe,
I'm
y'all.
so scared.
You just don't until you have
So-
worked the front register. You do not understand the true love-hate relationship with this show.
So now that we're here, I'm going to tell you why I'm scared. There's a very good chance that I'm going to have like 3 racks at that show, or 4 or 5, and they might be fucking white and blue and pink because
All the PVC
Yeah.
shit.
I bought the last 20 that they had, and used them this week to fill orders. I've
Yeah.
got 14. I bought 14 sheets of white yesterday that I've got to build stuff for next week with for Slidell, Lafayette, and
Lafayette.
I don't know what the fuck I'm going to do after that.
Damn.
So, yeah, it's a little scary right now. And everything, the tubs, they're having a hard time getting plastic to make tubs.
Yep.
So I don't know. We'll see what happens. You know, it'll all
It'll
all work
this
out.
stem from?
They shut down PVC factories during the freeze, is what I understood. And
Yeah,
so they
and-
put the plants that do the chemicals for it.
Yeah, and that and there's like 5 plants that make the chemicals. 3 of them shut down during the freeze and still aren't open. And then everything that was being made went to make pipe because, I mean, you can't even fathom how many houses in Texas had busted pipes.
Yeah.
So, so yeah, they quit making plastic. And my yesterday when I went to pick up plastic, my rep met me in the warehouse, which is very odd, and said, "Hey man, remember that price increase I was telling you about? We thought it was going to be about 5%." I said, "Yeah." He said, "We're doing a 30% price increase across the board on all products."
Oh my god!
Yeah. So, so yeah, I don't know what the future holds for Lone Star Reptile Racks right now.
Oh,
Well,
yikes.
Are you on back order for everything or?
Yeah, they're telling me he thinks about 4 weeks to get this higher. It's like a higher grade product in, which is quite a bit more a sheet.
Yeah.
But I gotta have it. So basically, what I'm telling people is about June 15th, I'm going to have a pretty big price increase. So if you want to order some shit, do it between now and the 15th and get the price locked in. And because after then, and it's not just me, it's everybody's going to see this. I've talked to some of the people who don't do the volume that I do, and they're acting like, oh, it's not that big a deal because they're burning like through one pallet every 2 months. I go through a pallet in a week. That's 40 sheets. I'll go through that in 3 days. Yeah. And so, and the other problem is when it does start coming back into these distributors, the big boys are going to get it first. These guys, these big sign companies, because that's what the PVC sheeting is made for, is for the sign industry. So these big sign companies that buy 100 pallets at a time, they're going to get theirs first before, little me who buys, a little bit at a pallet at a time. So I could realistically be 6, 8, 10 weeks before I see the same PVC that I'm using now. There is some imported stuff out there that I might be able to get my hands on, but I could definitely get my hands on some imported stuff. But I've done that before, and it just was not the quality that I like to put out.
Yeah.
So what I hear you say is that the June Conroe show may suck for you, but the September show, you're going to kill it. I'm hearing you say.
Yeah, I like the way you think.
Make some cardboard.
Try to find the silver lining.
Make some cardboard mock-ups of your enclosures and just spray paint them rattle can black and say, well, this is what it'll look like if you want to go ahead and place an order for September,
Yeah. I'm probably going to set a big TV up on my table with a slideshow.
There you go.
And,
Todd always did the book you could flip through when he was doing the wood enclosures. I mean, that might be a good idea too,
Yeah. I mean, I'm going to have to do something because
I can come over early and do photographs for you before Conroe.
Yeah.
I mean,
he could call me tomorrow. Space. Yeah. He could call me tomorrow and be like, hey man, I got 20 pallets that just showed up. I don't see that, but he was able to scrounge me up those 14 sheets of white. And I didn't even think about asking him for other colors because it comes in about 25 different colors. Yeah. At this point, I don't care if it's fucking pink. I'll make breast cancer awareness snake racks.
Yeah. I mean, people.
Somebody out there will want that.
Yeah. Somebody will want some. Yep.
Yeah. So, like, if I get some red, make some venomous racks.
Some green and purple.
Yeah. Yeah.
Josephine got her nails done today and they're green and purple.
Awesome.
She wants to take a picture. She's like, Miss Lori is going to love my nails.
She's going to freak out. Yeah, she'll love those.
Like, she will really like these. They're good.
Well, that means that we'll have extra table space at Conroe to set up so we can do interviews with all of our fancy new equipment.
Hey, look, Dallas and Amanda said they're thinking about the 10-hour drive to Conroe. I cannot encourage you guys enough to come to that particular Conroe show.
Oh God, it's going to be stellar. Now Saturday I will be working the register. Boss lady gave me Sunday off, so we can do interviews on Sunday.
Yeah, Gina, Piedmont's a nationwide company. I've bought from them before. They're just like everybody else. They don't have any. There is literally no American-made PVC sheeting for sale anywhere.
That's what I was going to ask if your company is just a local or if they ship from. I figured you've already.
I've called there's probably 40 PVC plastics distributors in Houston, and I've either called or emailed every single one of them and gotten the same answer. It's either like there's a small one here. He's like, yeah, I got about 20 sheets, but he wanted $200 a sheet for it.
Jesus Christ.
I can't lose money on it. I can't lose money on it. So, and he knows that there's none to be had. So
that's like cabinet makers right now suffering from lumber prices. I mean, it's got to be near impossible to do that stuff.
Matt, Matt, he has no lumber right now until Wednesday. He's been at a standstill for a week building cabinets. So, yeah, it's crazy.
What gets really annoying about all this? So, like you said, the PVC shutdown is because of the ice storm. But then you'll see on Facebook, someone will talk about not being able to get a cage, and then it jumps straight into politics. I'm like, stop it. It's not politics. Shut the hell up. Ice.
Every time somebody says, don't you love your president? I'm like, it has nothing to fucking do with that. Shut up. I don't need your bullshit.
Isn't that everyone's response to everything? Like
it has been every argument. Every argument is it's
my car has bugs on the window. It's the president. No,
love bugs are his fault.
God, they're back, by the way.
Fuck love bugs.
I saw them today.
Saw love bugs today.
I saw a love bug today. They're back.
Yeah, we have mosquitoes from all the rain.
Ugh.
Logan and I, we were at my in-laws' house today. They have an acre and a half, and my father-in-law is a bit of we'll call him a collector. He keeps a lot of shit everywhere. So Logan and I were out looking for snakes today, and we got fucking torn up by mosquitoes doing that, and didn't find any snakes because it was like ankle deep water from all the rain we've been getting.
They need some of my bug stuff that I use.
On my drive back and forth to Bryan, I've probably counted 50, 60 turtles.
Yeah,
like they're everywhere.
Yeah.
So funny story. Our daughter did not realize that box turtles could completely close the flap in front of their face.
Yeah, we found one today, and I picked it up, and it closed up. Just what happened to its head? I was like,
yeah, like a minor
why
panic.
they're box turtles?
It was so she was fascinated. So then she just sat there and waited for it.
Is-
She's like, it's opening.
Is,
She'd like watch.
is Tracy Taylor on here? Or not Tracy Taylor, Tracy Renee?
No, I haven't seen her yet.
I haven't seen her.
I haven't seen her.
Okay.
In here.
I'm gonna get a shirt with a closed up box turtle for Joe that says, "What happened to its head?"
Its head.
When we were leaving
She
Lily's
was
graduation
so
the other
funny.
night, you're driving through a neighborhood, and then it turns into this little 2-lane road for about a mile that's all trees and brush and stuff on both sides. And it was right after dark, and I'm coming up on like this drainage ditch, and I see a snake in the road. So I slam on the brakes and like block the road with my truck and turn my hazards on. People are honking at me. I'm like, fuck you, it's a snake. I get out. It was about probably a good 6-foot rat snake.
Bungee cord? Oh.
He had already been run over, unfortunately.
Aw.
Like he was pristine.
I thought.
There was no blood, no nothing. So I went up and I like poked him with my hook, and he just didn't move. And I was like, fuck. So I picked him up, and he was just limp. Like I didn't see any. Yeah, man, it was kind of depressing. But
I thought I saw a snake in the Sam's Club parking lot.
It was weave.
It was weave.
Yeah, that happens here.
I got so excited. I was like, "Oh, look, a snake!" And then I was like, "Oh no, that's hair."
Yeah, evidently, the road that intersects with mine is heavily populated with timbers.
Wow.
Well, from what I've heard from a few old school herper guys, so I haven't seen a snake yet, but I've been just there and back, there and back, there and back.
Right.
Because you told me you've never found a timber, right? You're still looking for your lifer.
That's one of my lifers. I still have never found a timber in the wild.
Somebody here in about a mile from my house found a Graham's crayfish snake in their fucking garage the other day.
That's another one.
Like,
that's stupid.
Never found one, and they found one in their damn garage.
I still haven't found a ring neck.
Oh,
Really?
I haven't found one. I've had someone give me one.
I've seen them. I mean, obviously I've seen them, but I've never flipped the ring neck. I think ring neck. Well, now on the speckled racer, that's another one that's on my list. The Graham's crayfish, the timber, and an indigo. Those are my the ones I haven't seen yet.
I found an indigo before I was into snakes. I was trying to crawl up on some javelina that I was bow hunting, and crawled up over this little rise. And as I'm coming over one side of the rise, the indigo was coming over the other. And we went face to face, and I'm like, that's a big fucking big snake. And I didn't know what it was. Just big black snake back then. I was like 19, but that's the only one I've ever seen.
Shawn,
hey, Gina.
Dallas is offering free help to set up tables for free admission to Conrad.
Hell no. I got my son now.
Yeah.
I'll give them free admission if they drive for 10 hours, obviously. But no, Peyton actually comes on full time with us in Lafayette. That's his shit. He's gonna crawl around.
Met him yet.
Yeah.
Putting on electrical. Yeah.
Hold on. What did James just say? Hang on. Oh, timbers. Yeah, James finds timbers out in Conroe all the time. So
That's exciting.
Cool.
I'm having to go back. Gina. That's what I was going to tell you. Callie's going to be watching the wallaby when you watch our house.
That is right.
She's wallaby sitting, so you won't have to worry about the wallaby.
Also at Austin, Shawn got a wallaby.
Yep. Finally.
Named Grant. Yep.
Named Grant. Callie was super mad at me for getting him, and so I named him Grant. Well, Tyler actually came up with the name Grant, and it's just perfect. So,
it's adorable.
Yeah, she's
gonna. I think he assumed it was going to the Grants at first until you got.
Oh no, he specifically brought him. He wasn't even supposed to be there, but he knew what he was doing. I've been talking to him for a little over a month about trying to figure out what to do as far as ambassador animals. So he knew what he was doing.
And,
but I get him at Conroe, and then the Grants are having their grand opening for their new store July 3rd. So we're going up on the 2nd and I'm taking Grant with us, and then we're gonna be at the grand opening for their store July 3rd, and we're gonna hang out all day and help them out, and they're gonna basically wallaby sit until slide down.
I saw
have to.
they were
make a trip
replacing the
up there,
flooring
too.
in the new store, and I saw a picture. I knew that their new store was in the same shopping center. I didn't realize it was like literally in front of the old store. Like you can see
right there.
the old
Yeah.
store from the new store.
Yeah, so customers won't have any problem finding the new store.
No.
Well,
And
you
it's
saw
big.
what John said. It's like the 5th time he's put flooring in this shopping center. Somewhere in this shopping center, he said.
Yeah.
He their new store, the storage in the back is the same size as their actual store they're coming from.
Yeah, exactly.
The new one's
But
huge.
I'm excited for them. They're gonna do they're gonna do good things, and they're bringing Kona the Aldabra to us in Conroe too.
Let's say, as cool as the wallaby is, I guess I'm more interested in your other new pets that you got.
Yeah, so Kona will be at Conroe as well, because
John, he was
Uh-huh.
sending us pictures. He was sending James and I pictures of it yesterday.
yeah, she's really cool. I'm glad to have her, and we're also getting another animal there too. We're getting Doja, the Bay Area Exotics English Bulldog that she's about 8 months old.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, so we're gonna be bringing her home too. We have a carload.
What are you saying, Katie?
I was gonna say the distance from the Grant's shop is the same distance to camp as our new house. So we could go up for the grand opening, and then Joe and I could leave from there to go to camp. And you could ride back with Robert.
Robert's not going to the grand opening.
I just said I might.
Yeah.
We can talk about it.
I was. Apparently, I missed that.
Yeah.
I think it'll be fun.
We're going in the second. We're actually getting a hotel room. They're gonna stay. They're gonna stay in Sand Springs that Friday night too. John and Callie are. So
Reptile Gumbo podcast road trip.
that'd be awesome.
Sweet. We can have the grants in person.
We could do it
We'd
in the
have to try to
store.
find internet up there because they're in bumfuck
They have
nowhere,
internet in the
Oklahoma.
store.
They have internet in the store.
I don't think they have internet in Oklahoma.
A little bit. It's
So how many Aldabras does that bring you up to now, Shawn?
3.
3. I'm jealous.
3
I
all
want
dogs.
Oh, look, there's John Grant.
I just texted him and told him get on the damn
What's up, John?
live, John.
Kona is badass. If I get Kona back,
Sure, there's hotel deals. You can sleep in the parking lot at the hotel for free, Dallas.
Yeah. I think our hotel has a pull-out bed.
I'm going to tag him in the post, Sean.
Yeah, just Dallas. Katie tagged them so they can get the hotel
That's what I'm
info
doing right now.
I don't know if Lily's going to let me have Kona back though.
She's so precious with that thing.
Yeah,
The tortoise weighs more than Lily.
like 4 or 5 of Lily's.
Yeah.
Right.
So you've got at the new place we were talking earlier. You've got some work to do now that you've got these.
I've
behemoths.
already started. Well, I've actually today I actually jumped on my mower real quick and like mowed the path that I'm going to do the fence line starting Monday after we get, because the movers are coming tomorrow morning here in McKinney. I'm back in McKinney again today, and then we're finishing up little detailed stuff. Haley just ordered pizza for us. Haley came back with me, but everyone else is there. The dogs, Lori, Hannah, Peyton. He's been setting up the reptile room all day, getting all the animals set up.
An awesome
and then
reptile room and that's a ton of land for tortoises. That's going to be great.
yeah, 3 acres. So I've got to figure out gates and stuff like that. I've been doing all that stuff, and then on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday is basically work day to get everything as much as we can done, and then we leave for Lafayette Thursday.
So what's really cool about your house that I like is if you do the tortoise yard just right and all that, your 500-foot living room faces the backyard. So you can sit there in your chair and watch your tortoises in the backyard.
Yeah. So
In
what
his
I've actually
massage chair.
in the massage
regular
chair.
chair. Yes.
Yeah.
So what I've actually planned, we were looking at today. I built the pen for the dog run out back that comes from the corner of my reptile room to the corner of the house where that little planter is, and I'm gonna actually put a gate on the back side facing that where that tree is. You know, that one big pear tree out there.
Yeah.
I'm gonna actually put a gate coming out of the dog yard into the tortoise pens, and I'm building benches for Lori, evidently, so she can go out there and sit down on the benches and play with the tortoises.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then the goal is to actually the right side of the prop or the left side of the property is barbed wire all the way down. but the back part and the right side is actually cattle. It's like cattle panels. It's like 3x3 squares or 4x4 squares, and it's sunk. So if I end up just opening that whole thing up and putting cattle panel all the way down the left entire side, they'll have like, I don't know, 1.5 acres, 2 acres just for tortoises.
Well, when your other Aldabras get big enough, they're going to need that.
Yeah.
What's really cool about ours is even when we let them out in the yard, not out of their pen into our main yard, is when it gets time to go to bed, they all go back to their bunker. And
Yeah,
they
go back through the gate and go back into
go up where they need to go for the night.
Yeah,
it's awesome.
Evidently, Jeremy told me this, and John may be able to verify this, but you just call Kona and she starts coming. He sent me the video of her walking into her barn and plopping down and eating. So that's another thing is I'm working on trying. James sent me some pictures today. The second one you sent me with the landscaping posts is something I was working on, but I need to build a barn for both of them, because I have Carl, the groundskeeper. He's the big sulcata.
That's that one you got from Trimbeck, right?
That's the one that Shawn, yeah. He's still at Gonzo's house right now, and he's actually going to have to go in for surgery next week. He's got a little abscess in the back of his leg, so Tristan's going to take care of him for me. But yeah, so I'm going to make some kind of barn for them to get into, and still working on the details.
That cinder block bunker, I laughed when he was making it, and after how it made it through the ice storm.
During the freeze, it didn't drop. It didn't drop below 75.
Yeah, I like that, but I'm gonna have to do like 4 times the amount of cinder blocks.
Oh, absolutely.
So,
well, I was going to say Josephine was a pro at shoveling the sand that we put in the cinder blocks.
So
I got this one I can loan out to you.
Well, be there Monday, James. Be there Monday then, because I'm working.
Oh, I can't be there Monday. I have an interview on Wednesday.
Somebody has a job interview. Yeah.
Oh, congrats!
Tuesday,
cool.
And then you could go to Robert's Tuesday night. It's not far.
I still gotta get shit ready here. I gotta finish the water feature for my tortoises.
We got time.
Before we
Actually,
move.
I have an interesting. This is the water thing. I was trying to come up with an interesting idea or something that I could put in for them to actually go into without just, you know what I'm saying? They're big, without doing concrete in the yard. Yeah. So I've been working on an idea. I'm going to test it this week, and I will pass the results on to everyone if it works. If it doesn't work, you won't see or hear from it about it. But I have a really good idea that I think might actually work to be really neat.
I'm making something simple, because this is the worst part about moving. And I've said it before, when we move, we're leaving our big tortoises here. Also, our 4 tortoises out in the yard are all staying here, and my in-laws are going to take care of them. So I may end up just going to Shawn's every now and then just so I can play with tortoises. But I'm trying to make a water feature just so it's easy enough for my father-in-law to go out there and spray it out. So I bought one of those big black concrete mixing tubs. I'm going to bury it down into the ground, and I bought some PVC to run underneath it just so he has to turn it open, let it drain, spray it out, close it, and fill it back up. I just got to get out there and do it tomorrow or Monday. But yeah, the water feature was the hardest thing to come up with, because everybody's like really cool fix on tortoise groups is a big concrete pool, but that's quite a bit. I mean, that's not the easiest thing. And then you have this giant chunk of concrete in your ground. That's just there. So, and then everybody else's other idea is the cheap blue swimming pools. They just cut a notch out of it, and like that looks like shit. I don't like that either. We're just letting them call it blue. So
that wasn't my idea, by the way. I'm not doing a cheap plastic pool. I have a different idea that I'm going to see if it works. I'm going to test it out. If it works, it might actually be something that a lot of people may start using. So
it's awesome.
Sweet.
Yeah,
I agree with Grant. He says no animals make me more happy than my torts.
I love
my tortoises.
Yeah.
So that's the other thing. My mom and dad are really excited about getting to take care of the tortoises. So
the little Aldabras are going to have to go into their own enclosure for a while. So I just got those 14-foot blue PVC stock tanks. They have big drains on them. I'm putting gravel down in the bottom of them, putting their substrate on top of it, packing it, and building a lid for them, a screen lid that locks.
And just leaving that drain open so in case it rains and all.
Exactly. Well, I guess Aldabras are like one of the best swimmers out of the tortoise world, but I don't want to walk out there bobbing for Aldabras.
We used to have a pretty deep tortoise pool at the zoo I worked at, and the big ones would just go in there, and they'd float from side to side, but they would just sit in the water all day long. They love the water.
Well, we just I'm picking up Monday or Tuesday. I'm picking up some more troughs, the plastic PVC Rubbermaid like troughs for stock tanks and stuff. I'm picking up those for the aquatics with drains in them, and I'm putting dollies underneath them, and those are going to be in the reptile room with big canister filters, and that way when it's water change time, you just slide it to the door, drain it, fill it back up, and start over again. So making it a little bit easier.
I wanted to go back. I forgot to mention this. I saw it earlier. Darren Watson asked if we had seen the Focus Cube, the lids Focus Cube started making. I did see those, Darren. And they're very similar to, I can't remember, the reptile portals or whatever that someone else makes. It's I can't remember who does it, and I really wish I did because they mention it on the Herpculture podcast every now and then. But it was a way to turn your lids into a sliding glass front. The new Focus Cube, it's really cool. It's a latching lid with the built-in Focus Cube door and all. So that was a very cool option for people that maybe can't do a full-on cage, but you buy the lid and turn your tub into a cage. I did see that. I forgot again. I wanted to mention Conroe. Chris Eaton's going to be there. Also, he texted me today. He's very excited.
Yeah, he's staying. Actually, is Chris on still?
I don't know. Maybe. Let's see.
I don't know. I think he's coming in Thursday. I think he's shipping all of his equipment to Corey.
Yeah, and I'm shipping it back out to him when he leaves.
So I think we're going to take him to Mama Juanita's Thursday.
I'm picking him up from the airport.
What?
You're picking him up from the airport?
I'm picking him up from the airport on Thursday.
So is it Thursday? Okay. Do you know what time his flight comes
4
in?
o'clock. So I'll pick him up at 4 because then I can take interstate the whole way to the airport.
Yeah.
And that way I don't have to take all the back roads.
Chris is on.
So we will be stopping at Buc-ee's.
Oh, God.
I get to take him to Buc-ee's. I'm so excited.
we skip every Buc-ee's we pass. We'll go to the Loves.
I love Buc-ee's.
Damn Buc-ee's. Anyway.
I do like Love's gas stations too.
But no one has a better bathroom to shit in than Buc-ee's.
I mean, if you're coming to Texas, you got to go.
We did that
to
on the
Buc-ee's.
way home from Austin, didn't we, James?
Yes.
Yeah.
I was like, come on, Giddings. Come on, Giddings. Even though it's
all
a
right,
little Buc-ee's.
So Chris is coming in. We're actually talking to Jack because he's Jack Dunlap there because Chris is going to be set up in Texas Reptile Collective booth with I think Jack and I have kind of figured out, and we're going to talk to Chris too when he gets there and sees how much crap he's actually shipping to Corey. But we're gonna have it so it's an interactive booth so people can come up and talk to him, but he can do interviews behind the table if he wants to and have some merchandise out. So should be a lot of fun. And then I guess he saw that I think Zach Nava and Antoine are coming to the September. Oh, and Brian Cusco, of course, is coming to September Conroe. So Chris got all butthurt and said they can't steal his thunder. So he's coming to the September Conroe too, I believe.
I thought about setting up a
shut your mouth, Joe Challoner.
And setting up a podcaster's table at the September Conroe.
Or your typing fingers, as it may be.
Oh, it's just a gas station. It's nuts. I don't like Buc-ee's. And there was like, the beef jerky. There's so much more better food than that. The only thing I like about Buc-ee's is my buddy John Brotherton. They carry his barbecue sauce there. There you go.
I like the extra large 79-cent sweet tea. That's what I get there.
I also like all the bags of
clean bathroom
of chocolate malt balls and chocolate covered raisins.
It's not. You can order that shit online. It's not worth dealing with the idiots.
But I can take a shit at Buc-ee's and then get it there at Buc-ee's and head out.
Yeah, I'll take a shit at home. I'll hold it.
I'm not holding.
James has limited places that he will go to the bathroom in public.
Okay, so he said Zach's coming to this Conroe.
Yeah,
that's cool. Cool.
So if you ever want to really stop at somewhere cool and you're kind of north of Temple and Waco and you're in West, like this town of West Texas, Slovaceks. They have, it's like Buc-ee's, but 50 years old and all kinds of cool shit.
There's a dog park out behind there. There's a dog park out behind there. Yeah.
Yeah. Slovaceks is the shit.
Yeah. They have amazing real kolaches, not pigs in a blanket. Kolache.
The place we stopped at on the way to Bryan.
Hey, Robbie's here.
It was like a barbecue place and a gas station. It was big. It had tons of food.
Picture of the.
It was a guy's name. I can't remember what it was. It had a big grill out front, a big smoker out front,
It was
looked
a
like
smoker
a gun.
that looked like a gun. A pistol.
James, you tell Ethan I'm gonna whoop his little ass.
He said he looks like Rob Schneider.
Where did he get that from?
Oh.
You're right, Joe, because we have bidets.
Oh my gosh.
It's all right. It's all right, James. Wait till I get to your house and break out the Lego Transformer. You won't give that poor baby
Oh my lord.
that I got for his birthday.
James Bergoli, by the way, everybody. That's not me. Not me. James Bergoli's the one's in trouble.
You can do it.
Oh
All
my
right.
gosh.
Do you have anything else you need from me? Because my daughter's running around here packing the rest of my house.
No, we're good. I think that's everything. We'll talk about you behind your back once you're gone.
No, there
Yeah,
was
leave
there
it
was
alone.
something else. So I can't remember. We talked about it before.
I can't think.
Talked about Conroe.
We did talk about Conroe.
No.
Super excited about Conroe,
Talked about all the credit card stuff.
which is insane.
James said you take that shit back. Fuck no, I'm getting it out of your house. I'm gonna spread it across the floor and show it to him. Give that boy a phone.
Yeah, no more karaoke at the Bergoli's. Now we're just gonna play
Love
with
you, John.
Legos and toys.
Yeah.
I like Legos.
So
I like turtles. That's what she just reminded me of.
I like turtles.
I like turtles.
I like
He has
turtles.
that on a button.
That's awesome.
Oh,
I should have been wearing my damn shirt. But
I
no,
forgot it's-
Lafayette is coming up in 2 weeks.
that's gonna be our second show. They just redid it, right? It's the place is new on the inside.
I don't know if they finished all the paint stuff, but I know that the floors are done, so it's not janky floors. We're still having hell trying to get somebody to cater it. Honestly, we can't find a food truck that'll actually contact us back and get set up.
Really?
So, yeah. So we're trying to work that out still. That's all the little behind the scenes shit that we're still dealing with in the middle of all this. So, but yeah, we're still working on it.
Don't you love you have all this stuff behind the scenes, and then you have these people that don't know how to run a show telling you how you should run a show?
Yeah, that's pretty much been past 7 years. Yeah, pretty much. Or people like I'm telling them, hey, I'm on the road moving, or I'm doing this, and they're messaging me 20 times saying, dude, where are you at? Why aren't you answering my messages? Because I'm fucking moving.
That's why I just started messaging Lori. I was like, hey, whenever you talk to Shawn, I need this.
Yeah, she called me after I talked to you. Hey, James wants to know about your podcast, and I'm like, I'll be home in time because it's been nuts. But we have a few things we need to load up before the movers get here tomorrow, and I'm going to crash tonight. Haley's been big help today, and we're moving everything tomorrow, and then I'm building shit for the next 3 to 4 days. So
yeah, but it's reptile shit, so it's fun.
Yeah, it's fun. It's a lot of work. I just got to figure out all the detail stuff. I've already got it marked out and shit where I'm going to put everything, but got to go spend more money on. They delivered all the panels now. I just got to get the rest of the post and shit and start working on it.
Yeah, that's that whole thing. And again, we've talked about before. People underestimate what it's like to have a tortoise. Like I see so many people buying sulcatas at a show. And I'm like, they're great, they're awesome pets, but I need you to understand, it's not like owning a dog. It's like owning a cow and takes the space. Like it's not an inside dog kind of pet.
Yeah, no. So, and I mean, the pens are 60 by 40 right now or something like that. But I can expand it, as much as I want. I just have to figure out logistically how I'm going to run everything. Because I have to run conduit. I'm going to have to run conduit out there with electrical in it, so that I can supply power to the barns or whatever I build. Or if I just go buy one of those buildings and just cut holes in there and put the flaps. Myself. Honestly, I'm at that point. But yeah, so I have to run conduit out there so they don't dig up the cords and stuff. And I'm probably actually going to get being a PVC rack and run conduit and run a hose out, through it so that I can fill up the water. And I've got to buy an actual pump to pump the dirty water out of there because there's nowhere to drain anything out there, especially the way I'm going to build the little pond thingy. So
yeah, it's flat. You are on flat land. It
is flat, and it's only about out there. I think it's only about 2 or 3 foot before the clay layer. So, but I'm going to be digging, looking for arrowheads too while we're out there. So, because we're on a creek that runs off the Brazos, so that's test holes. We're digging test holes.
So the nightmare for me when I did mine was the 4x4 post for my panels. Apparently, our clay layer is directly underneath the dirt layer by a couple of inches, and as soon as the auger would hit it, it was done. It wasn't going any farther. And so some of our posts are like 3 inches in the ground. Like if they really wanted to, they might be able to push through it.
Yeah. Luckily, I didn't hit. I got down to about 3 foot on most of the posts that I did for just the dog yard. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how it all comes together. But
It's
work
fun.
in progress.
It's the fun part of owning tortoises. They're great as long as you get the space.
They have a huge shade tree right there, and the cactus is growing like crazy out there. So it's like a hay field. So I can just go cut my own damn hay, honestly. And then I actually talked to Ariana today about and Tyler both about the wallaby, and they both gave me a bunch of really cool pointers, and it can cohab with the tortoises. And so I'm waiting for that picture. I'm out in the coffee in the morning, and the wallaby sitting on top of the Aldabra. That's going to be cool.
So how tall are you going to make your fences around the tortoises?
4 foot.
4 foot.
Yeah.
And so, do the tortoises get to a certain size where you don't have to worry about predators anymore?
Depends on the predator.
Depends. Yeah, it depends on what kind of predator. Because I mean, the biggest Aldabra that is at Fort Worth Zoo, I think it's over 700 pounds because their scale doesn't go that high or something like that. Crazy.
Yeah, I mean they get. I know they can get over 600.
Yeah. So I mean, with 4 foot fence, I'm really not worried about too many predators out there because I have a fence within a fence and an AR. So if anything, but I really haven't seen any coyotes in the yard. I see more deer than anything. I don't think the deer are going to eat the Aldabra, but the cows around them. Our neighbors have donkeys and mules and stuff that I guess keep the coyotes away. But
yeah, coyotes are the only thing I'd worry.
I'm not going to leave the little ones out. They're coming inside. At night they're going to come inside and stuff like that. But but for the big one, I think they'll be all right out there.
I mean, once they get about dinner plate size, no birds are carrying them off. The raccoons don't really mess with them. It's really just coyotes, and I mean, coyotes can chew on an adult. So I mean, it's not like you could stop them.
Yeah.
So,
James, I lost James.
I can't hear Robert.
Can't hear Robert.
Nothing for Robert.
Yeah, somehow my shit got muted. I don't know.
Oh, there he is.
Probably because you pushed the button.
No, the button's way up here. I can't even accidentally hit it.
Well, I've gotta run and go help my daughter finish packing and try to eat something. I've had 4 pieces of beef jerky today, a bag of microwavable popcorn yesterday. We had graduation dinner. We went to graduation dinner last night after graduation, and that was the first meal I've had all week for real. So I'm starving, dying, but
We'll go eat.
we're getting through there. But yeah, I think she ordered pizza. So I think Haley ordered pizza, and we're gonna finish packing up and try to get some rest tonight and get it all done tomorrow.
I do have scrolling across the bottom since you're here real quick for people to donate to HERPS Family Foundation.
Yes.
Since Shawn's here, I wanted to bring it up.
Yes.
So if you're out there, you can donate to HERPS Family Foundation by going by
@gmail.com.
now it's through PayPal. Are we still good?
Oh yeah, that one is fine.
That one's fine.
So herpsfamilystrong@gmail.com.
Yep.
Yeah, that one's not actually. Katie is the treasurer. She has access. I don't even mess with that one. So nothing to
I
do
haven't
with
checked it in like a week. I should probably
Yeah,
do that.
it has nothing to do with the HERPS LLC at all.
Yeah, and for anybody listening, that's to help when anything happens, the freeze happened or floods happen or hurricanes or someone's house burns down, unfortunately.
We're being careful with it because of what happened with the Reptile Relief Fund, them getting locked out. So we're kind of waiting until we get all of the 501c3 paperwork and set up the actual nonprofit bank account to get that link to any accounts or anything like that. So that's what we're waiting on.
John Grant says he's going to do half. So they do pictures with Poppy there.
John.
I just forgot what Poppy was. Because Kawadi. And then they also do pictures with their new little anteater. But half that money is going to go to the HERPS Family Foundation.
Very cool.
That's cool, John.
We have a few vendors at the HERP shows that a percentage of whatever profit they make, they donate. Yep. They donate a percentage to ARC. They donate
exactly.
to US ARC, to HERPS Family Foundation. So it's all over.
All right, Shawn, go eat.
All right. Love you guys.
Love you, man.
See you guys later. Whenever.
At least next weekend.
That's right.
Yeah, I'll see you guys next weekend for sure. But
all right.
If you need anything, let me know.
Absolutely.
Bye, man.
See ya.
And then there were 3. I am really going to miss my tortoises.
I'm gonna text your mom back.
She's fine. Not text my mom. I'm busy on podcast.
Oh my gosh.
Anyways, Darren Watson. I'm assuming that was our move to Texas permanent.
Yes.
Yes. I mean, the move to Louisiana. I don't know. I've now lived in. Let's start this list. Here we go: Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, Florida, South Carolina, Louisiana, and soon to be Texas
And England.
and
Damn.
New Mexico for a summer.
I've lived in Texas and California.
I've lived in Alabama, Louisiana,
And that's it. And now Texas.
Katie. Katie, when we're done, remind me. I talked to a friend of mine today. She was at Lily's party, and she's an occupational therapist for Alvin ISD, and she gave me something to talk to you about.
Ooh.
Gotcha.
John Grant,
Okay.
I do want to put a wireless a Wi-Fi camera in my tortoise barn so that I can see them when I'm not here.
John Grant says he's lived in Oklahoma.
I love it.
It's
I
unfortunate.
believe it too. I've met you. I don't even. Again, I talk shit about Oklahoma. I just got to get used to it because I'm moving to Texas, so I've got to be able to talk shit about Oklahoma.
Yeah, because the whole reason that Texas doesn't fall off the maps because Oklahoma sucks.
I apparently am going to have to learn how to trash talk Oklahoma if we're moving to Texas. Because it's not just Robert. It's a lot of people that live in Texas.
It's all of Texas.
Why?
The
I
same,
mean,
Why
other
not?
than the Rodgers and Hamilton and Hammerstein musical being awful, what's so bad about Oklahoma?
well, every state has to have the state next to it be worse than it, or else you're
Right.
bad.
And like Louisiana's a given. Like we don't even have to make fun of Louisiana because it does a good
Trash.
Uh,
enough job on its own.
But we have better food.
That's debatable.
Depends on where you eat.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm gonna miss Boudin.
we have
and
good
boudin
food in
balls.
here.
Yeah,
They're not far from Beaumont. I do
Yeah.
like the food in Beaumont.
I like that one place in Beaumont.
Jay Wilson's.
Yes, Jay Wilson's in Beaumont is the shit.
Why is it that all of our travels either revolve around? It used to be a zoo or an aquarium.
It's because we're fat. You about to say
But
food?
say,
And
have you
now
seen
it's
us,
food.
Katie? I
The being
mean,
fat
That's
thing.
food.
yeah. I
Food-
mean, you
food
see,
is vitally
yeah.
important.
I travel on my stomach. Like, yeah. Yeah. Like I can't wait to do Beaumont again because I want to go back to the hibachi place and I
The
want to go to
hibachi
Jay
place was
Wilson's.
good. The hibachi place was good. That was a nice place.
Yeah.
That was Robert had sushi for like
And
one of the first
At
times.
the end of June,
That
I
wasn't the
plan
first
going-
Wait, no, that's not the bill. Louisiana has the best.
Joe, you're from Wisconsin. You don't
Well,
have taste buds. It's
Joe-
just yummy
Joe-
cheese.
Hey! They have cheese curds.
They do.
Yes.
I mean, that's it. That's all I'm eating from Wisconsin. But they have cheese curds, and I'm sure they've got steak or something. So they got all those cows. When they no longer make cheese, they just kill the cow and eat it. Or when it freezes and they're fucking 5 or like 7, 8, 9 months of winter. Joe, is it even warmed up there yet? It's still probably frozen up there.
It was warm here today. I'm not excited about summer.
Oh, it's coming.
God, it's going to be brutal.
John Grant said that Joe Challenger better bring him some squeaky cheese.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I really could go for cheese
What is
curds.
squeaky cheese?
Cheese curds.
It makes your teeth squeak when you eat it.
Yeah.
Oh.
You have not paid enough attention when you eat
Y'all do
cheese
have
curds.
big ass deer, Joe. That's for sure. Like your deer could eat our deer in Texas because our deer are little tiny things.
Try the deer in Louisiana.
Yeah.
I've seen full grown deer here that look like, I don't know, like 30-pound dogs. Like they're small.
You see that shit? It was 89 degrees here today, and Joe Challenger
He's
said
got
they'd have
the
their
heat
heat
on.
back on. And then John Grant, who I didn't acknowledge his bullshit message that he sent us earlier, is 65 degrees where he's at. I just didn't acknowledge that shit when he sent it to me because I was out sweating at a graduation party.
It was warm here today. It was cool yesterday. It rained yesterday morning and stayed cool all day.
Tuesday is the hottest day of the week. It's 88, which means the heat index will be at least 94, 95.
108. 508.
Yeah.
1,000. That's one thing I don't think everybody understands is the heat index in the South. Like,
Yeah,
it's
I
just
don't
like-
ever look at what the actual temperature is. I always look
I never care about the
at
actual
heat
temperature.
index.
The
What's
actual temperature
the
doesn't mean
real
shit.
feel. I want to know the real feel.
It snowed yesterday in Wisconsin. What the
What
fuck?
the? It was
That's not even
94
real
days ago,
world.
and then it snowed yesterday.
Good Lord.
I really want cheese curds now. We don't have anywhere around here that sells cheese curds.
Nope.
Is there anywhere in Texas that sells cheese curds? Oh
Yeah.
wait, y'all had a
Culver's.
Culver's.
Mm-hmm.
I do love Culver's. Wait,
Slap some Vegas heat. Justin Hollins.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's a whole different
Yeah,
kind
but
of heat.
That's a different kind of
that's
heat.
and people will go, well, it's a dry. It is dry until you come here and you get like walk outside and get slapped in the face by humidity at like 100 and something.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I spent a summer in El Paso like 2 years ago working, and it is fucking debilitating. Like when you can't touch anything that's outside in the sun all day. You get in your vehicle, it's like 150 degrees in your vehicle, and your skin melts to the seat. It's legit dangerous. Like,
Well, yeah, you don't go outside then.
right? We were working at night because we were working in parking lots at these big facilities and doing security systems, and it was impossible to work during the day. So no, I get it.
Yeah, people are
I
like,
get it.
we're teachers. Like, so what do y'all do during the summer? Stay inside.
Yeah, it's hot out there.
It's hot outside in the summer.
Mm-hmm.
We might go to I say we. Joe and I might go to the lake. That James said
Today
we
was
go
the
to.
first day where I was like, "Fuck, it's summer." Like,
Yeah.
where
That was
everything just
me
feels
yesterday.
nasty, and today was the first day.
Mm-hmm.
Where everything's all the green, everything's thick again, all the it's fucking hate it. As
Which is
Chrissy
funny.
would say, gross.
It is
Yes. And
so much.
it's funny because the animals we like it warm, but I'm like, I don't want it warm. I want it cold
Mm-mm.
all the time.
Yeah.
I'd love to live in 60 degrees.
That would
Yeah.
be sweet.
Oh, it was awesome when I lived in San Diego. It was like 75 degrees every day. But yeah.
Joe Challoner, the cheese request for you is to bring a bucket of cheese
Just bring
curds.
cheese.
Just like a 5-gallon bucket.
Like, I just
Cheese
want plain old sharp cheddar. I don't want all
I
that
think
fucking
we'll
flavoring
eat
and
whatever
shit
you
on
bring
it.
us.
If it's
That's a
cheese,
fact. It's cheese.
I'll eat
As long as it
cheese.
doesn't have mold, I'm good.
Cheese
I
is
don't
mold.
want any of that blue cheese crap. What?
Some riveting fucking conversation we're having.
What?
I know, weather and cheese. Anyways, I'm trying to think. Oh, I wanted to go through. Let's go.
We
through
bought so this past weekend after Austin, we went to half price bookstores.
Oh, and I bought all the reptile books.
And everyone that went with us bought a book.
I bought every reptile book.
And I'm
Including
pretty
my
sure
child.
James.
Yep. We got him a reptile book.
And I made him buy a chapter book.
Yes, you did.
I was like,
And-
you need a chapter book. And he goes, this is a chapter book. And James was like, that is legit an okay book. I'm like, no, you need a fictional piece of work. Let's go.
Yep.
Come on, find something.
I went to the bank after lunch. You guys went to the store. I went to the bank, and then I came home and took about a 45-minute nap on the couch while you guys were at the bookstore. I love the bookstore, but I saw the opportunity. And
Take it. Welcome to Summers with Katie.
Because then
They
you
will
guys
be
came here.
practicing math facts and they will be reading. Everybody hates me.
You guys came here, and then I was the only one awake for a few hours because
Dude, I
you guys all
Oh,
passed
man.
out.
I did pass out on the couch.
I was,
Yeah.
Well, and it was because there was an Amber Alert that morning at like 5 a.m. And so I woke up with that and I didn't go back to sleep after that. So I was done.
I went to sleep, no problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, I bought every reptile book and I bought Planet Earth on Blu-ray. All of Planet Earth, narrated by Sir David Attenborough, because that's the only way to listen to it.
Darren
No
Watson,
offense
you
to
are correct.
no
A
offense to
midday
Sigourney
nap
Weaver.
is the best thing an adult can do. It's better than like midday, like afternoon delight.
The problem is when the midday nap turns into waking up at 8 or 9 p.m.
I feel judgment at this moment and I don't nap. I sleep for 3 to 4 hours at a time
It's a midday
because that
sleep.
is a nap for me. It has to be a minimum of 3 hours or I'm cranky as shit.
What's the excuse right now?
You're here.
I haven't done anything.
I know.
I'm gonna disrespect
That's the
you.
point.
You've actually been really good the last couple of days.
Anyway, so things that got posted on our group, because this is Chris Eaton's favorite part. We discuss things that are posted on
Hey,
our group.
you can pop it up. We're live.
I can pop it up. I can hit the share screen. I'm walk everybody through what I'm doing here. Screen number 2. Here we go. There we go. This video, which was great. So this is a video of Hog Island boas. So one of my favorite things about boas is when they have the babies and the moms just kind of nuzzle to make sure they're alive. Anybody that hasn't dealt with live birth, like especially in boas, they'll nuzzle to kind of push against them to make sure they're moving. And if they're not moving or if it's an infertile, they'll usually eat it because they've gone months without eating. What are you laughing about?
finish your story. Please finish, and we'll go.
No,
we'll
go ahead.
So our daughter just texted us from the back of the house because apparently she's watching this live, and then she called because I didn't respond, and so I just rejected it and opened her text message, and she would like to request smoked cheese blocks.
Smoked Gouda?
Whatever, just smoked cheese in cube form.
And she wants it bad enough that she called.
She called to make sure
just go to the
her order
grocery
got
store.
in.
It's not like we don't have cheese in Louisiana. We can go get her
gosh,
smoked
that
cheese.
Was so funny though.
Oh.
Anyway, I'm sorry. It was.
Oh, this is a cool. Go ahead.
I gotta tell you guys, Logan talked about it the next day. He had so much fun playing Nerf guns with Joe and having another kid here to play Nerf guns with.
Well,
after you guys left, he was like, I don't have anything to do. I'm like, do your schoolwork.
The next day was not as enjoyable, but that's okay.
Oh.
Did you hear about that?
What?
Did Robert hear about that?
What?
No.
The pillow fight.
Oh.
Oh yeah, when Logan broke his computer.
I know. You need to tell me how much it is to fix that screen, by the way.
It's like an eighth of an inch at the top, has like a little pink spot. I
wasn't worried about the computer as much as I was him like slamming into a tank.
I also felt bad because on the drive home I realized why I kept having to move a chest some drawers out of the way every time I wanted to see the boa that I just got.
Yeah.
And I forgot that was actually holding the tub shut so the cat couldn't get to him.
Yeah, good job, James.
And she got the pyro open again and like had half of the aspen out on the floor when Lily found it. And the pyro, who's like, 4 feet long, is in the back of the tub all effed up, about to fuck the cat up. And Lily caught it and went and closed it real quick and got her cat out. So
just imagine if you opened that top one.
I kind of no, I'm not saying that. Never mind.
So don't put that out there.
Travis Wyman posted an article. Leonardo DiCaprio pledges $43 million to rewilding program on the Galapagos Islands.
So I've done some research on this because number one, I love Leonardo DiCaprio. And not because of Titanic.
Growing Pains. It was Growing Pains.
He's done so much and he gives back so much.
Yeah, to the youth of America or the youth of the world. All those 18-year-old girls, he gives back so much.
Oh my God, shut up. So
much.
He is actually very involved with a lot of different outreach programs like this.
Well, yeah, because he needs somewhere to park his yacht while he's banging those 18-year-olds.
God, James.
And if Galapagos doesn't look pretty, they're not going to want to bang them there.
It's like, what's the guy? His mom's a teacher.
I have no idea.
Matt.
What? You're having a conversation with yourself.
The actor whose mom is a teacher. He was in the Ocean's 11's movie. He played the kid.
Matt Damon?
Yes, Matt Damon. Jesus, why could I not think of his name? He does a lot as well. They're good people, James.
Maybe. Or maybe they do bad things and they have to feel better by doing good stuff.
Well, you know what? If that's what it takes, then...
Travis also posted Ron Whitaker turning 78. And if you don't know who Ron Whitaker is, shame on you. Shame on you. You should definitely know who Ron Whitaker is.
Oh my God.
Romulus Whitaker. Travis asked you about tanning hides.
Mm-hmm.
You had experience tanning hides.
Yeah, and we actually had a discussion offline about it because he was getting some terrible advice.
Really?
Yeah.
So what are some things you shouldn't do when tanning hides?
Well, snake hides, you don't wrap them in salt. The salt, you can. It doesn't, that only preserves them. It doesn't tan them and make them ready for what he's wanting to do. But he also wants to keep fully articulated kukri and... I don't remember what the other one was. The heads, like with all the teeth in them. And, I told him that he could do water maceration, but then he's going to have to fish all the teeth out.
Hey. What he does in his own time.
Maceration.
Whatever you call it,
man. It's a big word, bud. And, but the best way is domestic beetles because they'll eat all of the fleshy bits off and leave the teeth and stuff intact without messing with them. So I don't know what he ended up doing, but I told him you can order domestic beetles online cheap.
Yeah, I don't know. I know that if you were to use dairy cows, they'll eat every damn thing you put in there. Yeah.
Well, like you saw, in Logan's room, there's that rattlesnake skin that on that one we found.
Yeah.
It was like a fresh roadkill. So I skinned it out and saved that one. So it turned out I used to work for a taxidermist years ago in another life, and I've done hundreds of those things. It's super easy.
Let's see. There's a video here. It looks like of a coral snake eating something else that Joe posted. I'm trying to go through. I didn't look at enough stuff. The unlikely growing hobby of ant keeping. So we've been trying to get a queen to have babies for forever. We got one from our buddy Jared. It didn't work out. He gave us another one. I still have her, and she's had some eggs here or there. It still haven't worked out. The other day while we were moving things around in the backyard, I lifted an old tire, and in the dirt in the tire was a big female queen carpenter ant who was starting her new nest. She had the eggs there with her. So we went ahead and we caught her. We got her eggs. We put her into a little container. So we're going to try our hands at raising these carpenter ants. I don't have high hopes just because our track record so far, but we will see what happens. This one she's a massive queen. I'm looking at there's the Wiregrass Exotics post about they're having to push things back. We talked about that earlier with all the delays and everything. This was a cool one. Galapagos tortoise found alive is from a species thought to be extinct. That'd be an awesome discovery to find an animal that you once thought was no longer there, and now it is there. So, oh wait, Katie has something to say. She's coming running.
I had to let the dog out.
Oh, and then hit the table.
Yeah, sorry. So I had to let the dog out. She was whining.
Who let the dogs out?
I did.
You?
Yes.
Who?
Stop it.
You?
Okay.
Oh.
So, but then I forgot to shut the gates.
And now she's in here. Wonderful.
So this article, I clicked on it, I read it, I did some more research. Not only did they find her, but they have found evidence that there may be more out there. There is a team that their job right now
is to go find tortoises.
Go find these tortoises.
Why didn't anybody call me?
How freaking cool is that?
You can tell that it's school's out because Katie managed to look at every one of these posts this week and read them and research them.
Yes, that's a very strong possibility. I'm not nearly as tired because I can sleep.
Makes sense.
Oh, there was an idiot with a
I did
rattlesnake
not
on his
watch this
chest.
video.
I'm gonna pass that. That's an idiot.
He does not get bitten. I watched it.
Good for him.
Unfortunately.
I didn't watch it.
Unfortunately that I watched it, not unfortunately that he didn't get bitten.
There's a post about green tree pythons. Some are red, some are yellow. The babies.
Why can't they stay that color though?
Well, on rare occasions, there have been some that haven't, but that's because adults wouldn't be able to camouflage very well in green leaves.
But that yellow,
I know. Oh, look, someone else posted that article too, so you don't know which one you clicked on.
No, I read the other one because I commented on it.
Our friends also from No Drama Llama got a goofy ass lizard that has two tails. Looks like one broke but didn't break all the way off, and then it regrew a new tail, and then now it has two tails there. And then what is this? That is it's an egg from an extinct emu species. An almost complete extinct dwarf emu egg found on King Island.
I didn't read this one.
Well, I'm assuming they found an egg because it says they found an egg. I can't imagine there was much more to read. There may have been, but I didn't get my my update from Lana, so I don't know.
Because we've all been busy.
Focus Cube, which we talked about Focus Cube earlier. Then there's some yada yada yada. Dallas Rua and his giant list of frozen rodents. So when they do open, when Wiregrass Exotics does open, you'll be able to get frozen rodents.
Mm-hmm.
And they also have chickens now. A lot of chickens.
Some are not for the store.
Yeah, I know they got a lot of chickens
for the house.
Amanda,
it's cool.
Amanda got a lot of chickens. I'll pass. I apparently have missed all of the locusts, all of the cicada stuff. There's apparently a lot of cicadas.
Oh yeah, it's all
over
the news
everything
every year.
I don't watch the news. I hate the news. Did you watch the snapping turtle video, Robert?
No.
You should definitely go check out our Facebook
Just
group.
watch it for a second. You don't even really need sound.
It needs the sound. He's warning the guy about giant snapping turtles.
And here comes a snapping turtle. Snap, 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 snap. James thought it was hilarious.
It's hilarious. Oh, Victor had some. He came home to his dark tangerine Honduran female who laid 8 healthy eggs. Way to go, Victor.
That's cool.
That is a very, very dark tangerine Honduran.
It's also in the shadows, James.
Yeah, but no, it's
saw
really
my
dark.
comment on there.
I did not see it.
I said, when those hatch, you let me know.
And then
Or
you posted,
let Logan know. But
Cool.
you posted a picture of this Cope's gray tree frog.
So I actually saw it on the Reptile Report, which is where I shared it from. And it's like a rainbow. It's iridescent.
It's
I
like a
just saw
rainbow.
Kayla's post with the flower explosion.
Oh, you hadn't seen that yet.
So
Yes.
that I used to own a bakery, and that happened to us once as well, except like a 5 times bigger mixer than that.
Oof.
Yeah. Don't ever turn it on high when there's no wet ingredients.
There was also a post about Gigantophis, which was a snake roughly 35.1 feet long, thought to be the largest snake until Titanoboa was found at 42 feet. But either way, we're very lucky those don't exist anymore.
You totally passed over my meme.
What was your meme?
That one.
Oh, it was a meme where it says, how many animals do you have now? And then the answer is, I have the animals I have. Let's just leave it at that. I normally just tell them, like, how many snakes do you have? I'm like,
The comments
it's over
are
50.
pretty funny, though.
Oh,
Well, Corey commented.
well, Corey's not important.
I usually just say I have a lot and leave it to their imagination. And then, of course, Travis says more than one, less than a million.
It's about where I sit. Oh, Robert, I got bit the other day by one of my snakes for the first time in forever.
What?
Which surprised the crap out of Joe and I when he told us what snake it was. Too.
So the guys came, we came home from our weekend, and our air conditioner was loud as hell. We found out, we had them come over and look, and our blower is busted, but it's still working. They just have to replace it, which is not cheap. But so you got to replace that. Well, the guys, I told them I had snakes, and they wanted to see them, so they came in, and I opened up the Louisiana pine snake cage. And it was inside the hide, and I made the stupid
Your
mistake.
new one or the one you already had?
My adult, the one I already had. And I made the mistake of, when I reached to grab the hide to lift off of it, having my finger go inside the opening on the hide.
Rookie.
And bam, he tagged it and let go
Rookie
quick.
mistake.
But he got me. And I told the guys, I was like, he's fine. Once I took the hide off, I picked him up. He was fine. He wasn't aggressive, but he's got a very good food response.
Yeah.
And he assumed food was coming, and it was not. So
Both of us were like, what? No way.
Travis also posted these flying dragons, these lizards that can glide, which are really cool. Those are cool videos. We never watched those. Or like, again, they don't fly, just like flying snakes don't fly. They fall with grace.
Russell had a pair of those at the show this weekend.
Oh, really?
Weekend.
Falling
They're
with style.
Paradise flying snakes. Yeah.
Paradise flying snakes. He had them at Austin. Those were really pretty. They reminded me very much of the speckled racer that you keep wanting to find in Texas. They look very similar. Obviously, not the same, just color wise.
Right.
Nathan Holcomb posted an article about an alligator from Louisiana that was discovered on the South Texas beach, over 400 miles away from where it was tagged.
Crap.
That poor alligator. I mean, it's not like it just swam. It had to have gotten like washed out that way.
That's a lot of
I can't imagine it chose
saltwater,
to go.
too.
Well, they can live in the salt water.
But I thought it was more like brackish water.
Yeah, but I mean, they can do it for short periods.
Oh.
When I worked for the sheriff's office, we had 100 miles of beachfront, and it was not unusual at all for us to have to go get gators off the beach because what a biologist told us is that they would swim out through a pass when they would get a lot of algae and parasites built up on them, and they'd go spend a week or so in the salt water, and it would kill all the algae and the parasites, and they swim back through the pass and go back in the marsh. I don't know how true that is, but it came from a biologist.
It could be true. I can see that. Salt water would kill off a lot of that stuff.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, when I go fishing down in South Louisiana, it's salt water, and there's alligators all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
Which is why I laugh when people in other kayak groups go, I don't know how y'all fish down there. You just fish.
Do.
I mean, like, people will be like, oh, I wouldn't fish there. Well, then you wouldn't fish anywhere. They're everywhere. They're alligators. I told Robert this past weekend, I think it was Robert, we really got lucky that we got the sissy of all the crocodilians.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we could end up being anywhere else in the world and get eaten when we go swimming. But no, we got American alligators, and they just kind of swim away. They don't care. There was a really cool picture of this bat, this nectar drinking bat, getting nectar from this flower. That was really cool. And then and now we're up to date. And now we're up to the giveaway.
Oh, I should probably update that.
So if you give it a minute, you can go check out lsreptileracks.com for this week, which is the last week of our giveaway for the special phrase. And then on Wednesday, we will have another episode on Wednesday. We have a guest lined up. We will announce the winner, and they will win either a single tub LS70 rack or $175 towards a rack of their choosing, which right now with plastic, you'll get it. You'll get it at some point when plastic exists. I'm all for getting a bunch of like psychedelic color plastics, just a bunch of blues and pinks and yellows and greens, and making tons of stuff out of it. But go check out lsreptileracks.com and get that. I think that's all I got, unless anybody else out there in internet land has a question. I think everybody went to sleep. And I'm going to Whataburger in a minute, since my daughter ate all my dinner.
Yeah.
That sounds tremendously good.
It's going to be.
I'm really surprised she ate that much. I mean, I'm happy, don't get me wrong, but crazy stuff. Yeah, my life has consisted of packing.
I still got a pregnant rainbow boa sitting right next to me.
I was about to ask you if she'd had babies yet, because you were like watching her like a hog last weekend.
Nope, she's laying under the heat nonstop on one end of the cage.
She keeps like rotating.
She moves around a little bit, but she's definitely pregnant. Like there's a bunch of white space in between her scales. She's definitely pregnant. And then I've got 2 Samboas that I'm waiting for them to give birth. And I have 2 other Samboas that I'm just hoping are pregnant at this point. This is like the 2nd year in a row that I've been trying to get them to breed. And they cost a lot of money, and I would really like some babies out of them. Right now, the only ones I can seem to breed are all of the normals or het aneries. So, not the $500 and $600 Samboas, just the cheap ones.
Your daughter said she's hungry and wants to know if you can bring her Whataburger.
She ate all my dinner. She doesn't. How does she get Whataburger?
She's growing.
Into what?
I don't know. She's got a hollow leg.
Tapeworm or something.
Maybe I'll get her some chicken tenders.
She got wore out from all those errands we ran today.
My grandpa, he used to eat like that, and he was really slender. And people would be like, "You have a tapeworm?" He'd say, "Yep." Want to see the end of it?
Oh.
Oh. Gina asked, "Do Samboas shed before birth?" Sometimes.
So to say, I don't know that we've ever been able to truly track.
No, I have. Sometimes I do. It's weird. Sometimes they'll shed in the middle of the whole thing, like 2 months before giving birth. They'll just randomly shed in the middle of it. Sometimes they'll shed right before. Sometimes they'll shed after. You can normally, though, you go with the shed after mating. So once they've mated, they shed, and then you normally count about 5 months after that. And that's when they tend to give birth. John Grant said both of mine gave birth while shedding. Yeah, it's weird. They don't tend to want to follow any rules.
Week 4 clue is up and live.
Yes. So go check out lsreptileracks.com for the week 4 clue so you can win your rack or money towards a rack. I know Ilana has her eyes set on that LED light up rack with the acrylic window in it.
Mm-hmm.
She wants that one if she wins. But yeah, Gina, I know that there would be a nice if it was easy and simple, but and also it's weird. Most of mine will eat all the way up until they give birth, and then I have one who's refused to eat the entire time, which is the first time I've had one refuse to eat while pregnant. I don't know. I've never bred bull snakes, so I assume your bull snakes shed right before birth. I don't know, but yeah.
John Grant, did you mention his?
I did.
Oh, okay.
I can see that Douglas Ray White.
Why do you say his name like that?
Because that's how you say it.
Douglas Ray White.
No, James. Oh my God.
It is 100% how you say his name.
That's how he says his name.
Y'all are so funny. I do miss you though. I miss you and Natasha.
I don't even think they have any snakes to sell.
Yeah, they sold them all at Slidell.
I know.
No, they sold them all at
Beaumont.
No, Brian. They just showed up to Beaumont.
Oh, that's right. They just came to visit.
Yeah.
They sold every snake at Brian.
I remember that now.
I think Douglas.
I mean, that's
I think
an
Douglas
awesome
Ray White
problem.
had one snake left.
It's an awesome problem to have. So
He needs to talk his wife into letting him build an extension onto the house.
I feel like this is a conversation y'all have had before.
It is a conversation. We had a great idea for building an extension onto the house with a sink and all sorts of stuff, and she was not having it. Yes, they are out of snakes. That is a problem. I listened to a couple of podcasts lately, actually. I listened to why can't I think of it? Oh, Searchable as Reptiles, which is Brian Cusco and Garrett Hartle's podcast. Mm-hmm. And Garrett Hartle was talking about how he was kind of let down. Arlington did not live up to what he thought it was going to be this time around. He thought Arlington was going to have a lot more like local breeders, and there was going to be more of a selection and people but he didn't see that. And I think that really all stems from everyone sold out of everything early in the season. Mm-hmm. I know that a lot of especially our ball python folks they're showing up with slim pickings just to be at a show.
Part of it too is a lot of us lost, every one of my females reabsorbed during the freeze.
That's true. That is true. So
I have like 15 females that aren't going to lay eggs now.
And so I think if Garrett Hartle comes back to Arlington next year, or if he comes to Conroe in September, he'll see a larger variety of stuff. I think it's just, even the small breeders, and mainly because of Morph Market, it's much easier for a person with one or two females, and it could have been really cool stuff, but it's easy for them to sell stuff now because of Morph Market. They just didn't have anything left by the time Arlington came. I know Corey she's been pulling stuff that were holdbacks to bring to shows, because it's just everybody had a really good year thanks to COVID. The one good thing COVID did was it caused people to sell a lot of stuff. As the two of you play on your phones.
Yeah,
I'm not playing. I'm talking to customer because
customers.
I'm playing.
Customers message me at 8:45 on Saturday night, but the thing is I respond. So
yeah, I was saying,
yours enable.
Gotta make that money. Yes. Douglas Ray White, he's trying to work on his wife on getting that. We talked about building a shed on the back of his house and attaching it through a doorway, and then putting a sink in there. Since the shed will be lifted off the ground, it'd be easy to plumb a sink in there.
Use that word easy pretty loosely.
Well, you wouldn't have to. You can plumb it underneath. You don't have to worry about having to break concrete and all that stuff in a pre-existing foundation. So, it'd be really easy just to run a hose in there. But he says she still says no on an extra addition to the house. Just keep working on it. What you got to do?
Doug, you're the man of the house. Just do what you want.
We know how that works out.
Yeah, good luck with that.
Works for you, Katie.
Well,
yeah. Here's what you do, Douglas Ray White. What you do is keep buying snakes until they no longer fit in the snake room. Then fill up the dining room with snakes.
With some more racks.
With racks that you can get from Robert. Yeah. Fill up the dining room, and then fill up the living room, and then fill up like an extra bathroom. And then eventually she's going to have to let you get an extension onto the house.
Just to get
so she's going to leave. Those are going to be
James, we've met Tasha, and we know that she's not having that shit.
She's the most wonderful person ever.
Yes.
I love her.
I'm just trying to help old Doug out.
Oh, my Lord.
Oh. But I was trying to think. I listened to another podcast, and I can't remember what it was.
You listened to several in the car while I listened to my audiobook and slept.
I listened to some good ones, and I just...
There was one that we listened to. I listened to it as well. And they were debating.
You want to talk into the microphone?
Sorry, they were debating.
Oh, that was the Reptile Fight Club. And they were debating on, what was this one? It was not the first one.
Sensationalism.
Oh, sensationalism.
And what bothered me the most was that sensationalism is a very broad topic. And they kept, and I'll be honest, I don't know who was who. I don't remember who. I don't even know who those two guys are. I should, but I don't.
I did until you asked me.
But they kept, they wouldn't focus on one part of sensational.
One's Justin Julander. He was arguing against sensationalism, and I think.
Well, and that was fine. Like both sides are very valid in my opinion. But when you talk about it, like they would talk about the people that you would see, people like Steve Irwin and all of that. But then they would talk about the ways the general public handles things, and then how non-reptile people handle things. and the topic of sensationalism is just entirely too large, in my opinion. And they need to.
He argued against all of it. He said all of it was bad. And the other side he was trying to argue the things that I thought were right. So he argued against that. He thought Steve Irwin was too sensational. He did too much, and that he didn't need to do all that stuff to get people interested. And I argue that he didn't need to do all that stuff to get Justin or myself or Robert or people listening to this. He didn't have to do all that stuff to get us interested in the animals.
Yeah, but for me, that's what I needed.
Yeah, that's the problem. Is like, I say a problem. The reason that he did so well is the general public doesn't like the animals he was working with, and sensationalism in that sense helps draw them in. Now, I honestly, when I watch Steve Irwin, because people will argue that when I say stuff about some of the current day people that I think are doing too much, they'll bring up Steve Irwin and say, what about him? I don't put him in the same category. I honestly think what you saw on camera with Steve Irwin was Steve Irwin, and he would be doing all of that with the camera turned off. Whether I'm right or wrong, I don't know. But I think that was very much him. Now, when you fast forward to now, I think when Steve Irwin died, there was a vacuum in nature documentary type stuff. And it got filled with people that, yes, saw what he did, but then wanted to take it a step further. And so I think a lot of people you see on YouTube now with sensationalism, yes, are doing too much. I think that, and we've talked about it before, posting clickbait about a snake attacking somebody or biting somebody or being afraid of it is not the way to draw someone in. I think that's the issue. But my big problem was when he started bashing. Not to say bashing. When he disagreed with what Steve Irwin did. And I think Steve Irwin brought most of us into this hobby.
Well, and I think my biggest issue is I by all means, I'm not putting myself out there with anybody on that level. But I did programs at the zoo in the education department before I became a teacher. And I would get so excited doing programs, especially if the kids were getting excited, I would get even more excited. And by default, I was leaning towards that sensationalism.
Well, and I
spectrum.
think, and he argued something like Planet Earth, which he said it doesn't use sensationalism and that people will watch it. But I agreed with, I wish I remember the other guy's name, but I agreed with the other guy that I think Planet Earth does use sensationalism. That because they talked about that scene. Robert, have you seen the scene where the Galapagos iguanas the marine iguanas are hatching and they're having to run to the water and trying to dodge the snakes?
Oh yeah.
That's a very sensationalistic scene. The music, the way they slow-mo it, the way they shoot it.
It's sensationalism without having a person physically being on the screen, because it's how they shot it. It's the angle of the camera. It's how they edited and put that piece together. And then it's the background music.
Yeah, if they set up one camcorder on a beach and just film the beach at normal speed without any music, that's boring as hell. No one's watching that.
So the zoo that we worked at, there was it was for Endangered Species Day one year, and our videographer at the zoo put together this beautiful piece, and it talked about how, if we will not
turn away from the mic.
Sorry. Talks about how if we won't do anything, then who's going to stand up for our animals? And it was a beautiful film. It was great. She found music and put the music to it, and it like ripped out your heartstrings by the time you were done with it. And so music in and of itself can make something fall into that category.
So like I said, I think the idea of sensationalism not being necessary at all is a little crazy, because again, all of us reptile people will watch anything reptile related. We don't care. We'll watch it. It could be no one talking. Again, it could just be that one camera on the beach showing Galapagos and just at normal speed with no music. And yes, we will watch it, but the general public won't, and therefore the general public won't get behind it.
But if you're looking for a new podcast, definitely check that out, because before it started, they literally mentioned these are the two sides we're going to argue. Okay, we're going to flip a coin. And that's how they picked who was going to argue what side. And it was, that was really cool to sit and listen to it.
The one guy, I'm going to have to look it up. The one guy has had to argue the harder side each time.
He's lost the coin toss. So Reptile Fight Club.
Reptile Fight Club. I can't remember.
Pretty neat.
It's Chuck, and I can't remember Chuck's last name. But I know the other one is Justin Julander.
Definitely an interesting concept for sure.
Yeah, and then we listened to the Monitor. I listened to the Monitor podcast.
I woke up at the end of that one.
Monitor Keeping. They had Ryan McVeigh on. which we've had Ryan McVeigh on here before, and they talked a lot about UV lighting. So if anybody out there is very interested in UV lighting, they talked about a lot and mainly in monitors, but in general, they talked about UV lighting in detail. Go check out the Monitor Keeping podcast with Kai Fan. And again, I can never remember the other. I'm horrible. I can always get one co-host, and I can never remember the other. Although I've been like Facebook friends with Kai for like 12 years. So, but check out that podcast, and Ryan McVeigh, he goes into detail on UV, and we actually have Ryan McVeigh scheduled to be on in a couple of weeks. So I'll probably ask him some UV lighting questions as well.
Absolutely.
Joe says he makes sensational videos. Yeah, okay. I love you, Joe.
No, he means like what we were just talking about.
No, I know. Normally, there's got to be a reptile in the video for me to be interested, though.
Oh,
That's fucked up.
I haven't watched the latest one.
Can you link? I can try. Sure.
I can actually post these on the Gumbo.
Just
podcast.
because Joe's herping video was really just a hiking video.
It was definitely a hiking video.
It was. I still enjoyed it.
You can't be like, it's a herping video and then show me snow in the mountains. That's not a herping video. Come on,
Unless
Joe.
you find a rubber boa.
Unless you find a rubber boa in the snow, then yes, then we're all for it.
That's so funny. I haven't watched the video. I'll be real. I don't watch YouTube. I really don't. Like, unless
everyone poops, you should be watching YouTube.
Unless I need to Google something in my craft room, or like, hey, why isn't this machine working correctly?
It's worth a Google.
Then that's when I get on YouTube, when I need to learn how to do something.
Again, that's YouTube time is pooping time.
Apparently not for me.
For the rest of the world. Yeah. You're the oddball.
I am.
So check out some of the other podcasts. Those are the ones we listened to. We had a big drive coming back from Austin. We drove to Roberts, and then we drove from Roberts to home. And so on the way back home, I listened to a lot of podcasts. Joe says he had a hook, so he was herping.
I don't think that's how it works.
I guess. Well, I mean, we go fishing
and don't
catch anything, but I had a fishing pole, so therefore I was fishing.
Oh, that's funny.
Gina says she's a true crime podcast person. Robert is. That's
if
not
I'm
me.
not mistaken, I want to say Ilana listens to some of that stuff.
Probably listened to 40 episodes of Sword and Scale in the last 2 weeks. I'm just on a true crime kick lately.
But
you have to understand, I used to investigate homicides.
That's why I figured you wouldn't want to. Although I guess I like reptiles and I listen to reptile podcasts. So
right.
But yeah, I'm not a true crime podcast. But there's a metric shit ton of reptile podcasts out there for people of anything you want to do. Especially go check out NPR Network. They have, I think, 10 podcasts now. They do the Monitor podcast. There's an Australian podcast on there. The Reptile Fight Club is on there. There's a lot of good stuff on NPR Network. So check that out. But that's it. That's all.
Thanks for hanging with us, everybody.
Yeah. Sorry that it was late.
I know.
Life got in the way this week, but I figured since life got in the way, we'd go ahead and do a live. And I wanted to have Shawn on to talk about the credit card thing, just because that, again, we saw it in some of the groups, especially ball python groups, and it just kind of got out of hand. Those posts had like 5 million replies, and no one really seemed to know what they were talking about, or listening to the other people who knew what they were talking about. Mm-hmm. So that drove us nuts, and we wanted to talk about that and get some stuff out of the way. I mean, again, we don't know everything about it, but hopefully shed a little bit of light on the situation that is happening. And hopefully one day Robert will get his money back.
Everybody will.
Well, I'm not going to get the $2,500 back that I had out on payment plans. Well, I got about 600 of it back, but yeah, it's a speed bump it's a speeding ticket in the grand scheme of things, you know.
And part of running a business, I guess. It's just
yeah. You saw the thing I shared from TikTok the other day where the guy's like, every time being pregnant's like being a successful businessman. Everybody tells you congratulations, but they don't know how many times you got fucked.
I didn't see that.
Yes. Yeah. So yeah, that's where we're at. I felt that shit in my soul.
Oh God. Okay. Well, on that note,
that is
people want to get a hold of you, Robert. How do they get a hold of you?
I got this website and some Facebook shit. Yeah. No.
lsreptilerex.com.
Yes.
So go check out this month's clue so you can win a rack.
John Grant
this is
did
the
send me
last
that.
clue.
Credit John Grant.
Last clue. All right, James, people want to get a hold of you. What do they do?
Simply _serpents on Instagram, or simply serpents on Facebook, or the Reptile Gumbo podcast on Instagram, Facebook, and at gmail.com if you want to send us an email. I also want to mention, so next month I don't have a sponsor for the giveaway. I talked to you what I think I'm gonna give away. I think we're gonna sponsor it. But if anybody out there wants to be a sponsor 1 month for a giveaway, let us know. Shoot us a message, let us know. And again, you don't have to be someone who has a big business. If you're just a small anybody, you can just tell us, hey, I would like to sponsor it. We can pick something that you want to give away. It could be a
Maybe you
thermostat,
have. I was
or
gonna say maybe you have something that you can't live without in your snake room.
it could be like some light bulbs. It could be whatever that was reptile related that you're like, hey, can I do this and we'll give it away? Sure. So just contact us, let us know, and we can set that up. But next month, I think, I gotta tell you what we're gonna give away. I'm gonna give away a catchy, the little fly catching machine that I and Robert both have in our house.
And we may be buying another one soon.
That helps get rid of fruit flies. It does an amazing job of getting rid of flute flies. I hate flute flies. Piccolo flies are worse, but
because you have one in here and it works wonderful. But it's summertime and I'm starting to get lots of fruits and vegetables in the kitchen.
And then like mosquitoes get drawn to it.
I need one in the kitchen.
So next month, look out for that. We're gonna do the catchy giveaway. Someone will get one for the reptile room. Gina says she has several of them. They are amazing. So that's it. That's all I've got for this week. Thank you all for joining us. Robert, thank you. And
thank you.
Talk to everybody next week. Bye-bye.